filing an amended lawsuit against Baldoni and parties. Well, they're not ready. Her C-list lawyers sent a letter to Judge Lyman, asking for an extension.
Blake Lively's learning the hard way that court is not Hollywood. She's now made multiple attempts to gag Justin Baldoni and his attorney, now wants the case dismissed, and now is fighting back against a deposition. So in a newly released letter, we are now finding out that Blake Lively is not happy with Justin Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman.
For those who are not in the Hollywood world, what's wrong with her taking over the film?
I've never seen it before in my 30-plus year career in Hollywood. An executive producer is below a producer in the film world. An executive producer signed up to be an executive producer, and that's...
A shocking twist has emerged in the highly controversial Justin Baldoni trial, as the court delivers a devastating blow to Blake Lively's alleged scheme. What initially began as a case centered around Baldoni has now taken an unexpected and dramatic turn, placing Lively's role under intense scrutiny. Explosive revelations have surfaced, exposing details that could change the course of the case entirely. With each passing moment, the trial grows more unpredictable, leaving many stunned by the shocking developments unfolding in the courtroom.
Denied Blake Lively's request for a gag order against Justin Baldoni and his team of attorneys. There was a hearing today where both parties argued their sides. Blake Lively and her team argued that Justin Baldoni's attorney shouldn't to the media, so that's why they requested the gag order. Justin's team argued that Blake Lively did the same thing, referencing the original article published in New York Times. While the judge ruled that there would be a gag order in place, both sides have now been ordered to follow New York's rules of professional conduct, which prevents lawyers from prejudicing their juries with comments. So the attorneys are still allowed to talk to the press in order to defend clients from bad publicity. Blake's team also made a complaint to the judge about Justin's new website dedicated to
the judge wasted absolutely no time in dismantling what many have slammed as a shameless and calculated attempt to manipulate the court's decision, delivering a crushing blow that has sent shockwaves through the case. As tensions inside the courtroom explode, Blake Lively now finds herself at the center of an escalating legal firestorm.
Blake Lively's team had asked to subpoena Justin Baldoni's phone, meaning, and not only Justin Baldoni, the entire team that they had sued, meaning like 5 or 6 people. And they want not only to look at text messages in regards to the case, but in regards to everything.
And go back 2.5 years.
Yes. Even their internet browser history, so they can see whatever they Googled. I mean, if they do that to anyone's phone, you're gonna find stuff that are suspicious, don't you think? I mean, you Google many weird things. I think for them to ask to have access to Justin Baldoni's text to his wife, I mean, isn't that outrageous?
It sounds like an overreach.
Yeah, or like Justin Baldoni's lawyer called it, a fishing expedition, which is a word he used on purpose, I think, because that's a word that judges don't really like. And this is, like he pointed out, this is not a criminal case. It's not the FBI. This is a civil case. So I think asking for this, do you think they're going to get it through from the judge?
Not altogether, but you know, it is you can do it in defamation cases, though.
Yeah, but I think limited in
one that could leave her career and reputation in absolute ruins. The bitter courtroom battle between Hollywood's beloved actress and filmmaker Justin Baldoni has spiraled into an all-out war, with new twists unfolding at every turn. In a major and humiliating setback for Lively, a federal judge has not only rejected but completely shut down her sweeping attempt to gain access to Baldoni's phone records.
Justin Baldoni just dropped his $400 million lawsuit against Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Oh, and he just dragged Taylor Swift into it. Let's get it. He's suing for extortion, defamation, breach of contract, the list goes on. Earlier this week, we saw that Justin dragged Marvel and Disney into the mix because he wanted footage and documents related to Deadpool and Wolverine to prove that Ryan Reynolds was trolling him in the new film with the nice pool character. And remember when Ryan Reynolds allegedly raided Justin Baldoni at their penthouse when they had that all-hands-on-deck meeting? And in it, he refers to celebrities coming in and out of the penthouse. Well, now one of those celebrities has been named. And it's none other than Miss Taylor Swift herself, who defended Blake Lively. Interesting that Taylor Swift has remained silent in defending Blake Lively publicly when she seems to have been involved in the It Ends Us drama. And as we know, Taylor Swift's song also ended up being the anthem for the film promotion. Very interesting. I'll do a deep dive on the podcast this Friday. I have to read through all of the documents, but get ready. This is going to be a wild ride.
Why do you believe that these allegations may have teeth?
Well, first of all, remember this PR team was the same PR team that Depp got back in the Amber and Depp case. Now, most PR firms, you assume, are supposed to promote their clients. That's not what this PR firm does. And it's what's clear in Blake Lively's complaint is they do exactly the opposite. They go out and intentionally fabricate stories, create smear campaigns, and with TikTok and all the other social media, and that's what happened to Amber Heard. They went after her to destroy her rather than to try to promote Depp. And it worked to a large extent. They had a very conflicted jury. They found in favor of both.
A move that could change the trajectory of the entire case. With the stakes higher than ever, the legal showdown is reaching a breaking point, leaving the world eagerly awaiting what comes next. Blake Lively set off a legal and media firestorm by leveling explosive allegations against Justin Baldoni, accusing him of serious misconduct during their early collaboration on the highly anticipated film It Ends With Us.
The subpoenas on or around February 12th. The subpoena requested all documents concerning ingoing and outgoing calls or text messages related to telephone numbers belonging to certain Wayfarer parties and related individuals. Within the time period of December 1st, 2022 to the present, the hair care professional wanted all of this information for an over 2-year period.
According to Lively, she raised urgent concerns about inappropriate on-set behavior, only to be met with ruthless retaliation. She claims Baldoni and his team orchestrated a calculated and malicious smear campaign to destroy her credibility, painting her as the villain in an effort to silence her.
Judge Lyman continues, including but not limited to call logs, text logs, data logs, and cell site information. On February 14th, the Wayfarer parties moved to squash subpoenas as overly broad and invasive. The court ordered the parties to meet and confer and to report back to the court whether any dispute remains by February 24th. It did.
But the battle didn't stop there. In a stunning counterattack, Baldoni fired back with damning accusations of his own, directly implicating Lively, her husband Ryan Reynolds, and her publicist Leslie Sloan in what he calls a deliberate and orchestrated attempt to sabotage his reputation and cripple his career with false and defamatory claims.
Ryan Reynolds, my besties. Do you think Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively had anything to do with it?
This is what Justin Baldoni's team is saying, right? They're saying that Ryan Reynolds pressured WME to fire Baldoni.
Yeah.
And of course, that has been denied by WME. But when did they fire Baldoni? There are more quotes though out there, and he's saying that I am the man that did it. What did he say? I'm a ride or die guy.
Yeah.
So he takes credit for firing him, and then he's making fun of his name by calling him Bologna or something like that.
Baloney.
Baloney, and then he corrects himself and says Baldoni.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah, and that's someone they represented for more than 5 years, apparently.
As the courtroom war intensified, Lively's legal team took an aggressive and high-stakes approach, issuing a bold subpoena for Baldoni's phone records dating back to 2022. This daring legal maneuver could unravel shocking new details, expose hidden truths.
The tea is flowing in the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively case, involving Taylor Swift and Brian Friedman and all the characters that are involved, and cross-fighting here in the legal document in response to subpoena. Say, hey, this is a massive fishing expedition. It goes back and forth, and that's where we land on the actual documents I'm about to share with you. Umbrella Guy, friend of the program, Blake Lively wants 2.5 years of Justin Baldoni calls, texts, real-time location. Watch. It's all because she's attempting further character assassination since her two claims didn't end him. Now, as we know, she claims he harassed her, SH, right? And that's really the big story. But she's also going to claim that he was part of a smear campaign. He's going to argue that was in retaliation. We were just planning a retaliation if you were going to...
And ultimately determine the fate of both Hollywood stars in a trial that has captivated the industry and left the public on edge. Lively's legal team aggressively pursued evidence to back her explosive claims of a calculated smear campaign against her, allegedly orchestrated by Baldoni and his team starting in August 2024.
There's two main reasons why I don't trust this personal trainer. Number one, I think it's very childish for an adult to come up to you and ask you a very reasonable question, like, hey, how much does Blake Lively weigh so I can adequately train my back muscles to lift her? And then for you to go and run Blake Lively, who you know is insecure about her post body, and say, Justin Baldoni asked how much you weighed and he fat-shamed you, but you didn't hear from me. That is so Regina George coded and not a way that an adult behaves, in my opinion. And number two, a very quick Google search will show that if you go on his website, I'm looking at it now, the main programs he sells are workout programs with Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, and Blake Lively. So he's obviously benefiting financially from their friendship. I'll show it to you guys right now.
The extent of the alleged retaliation was described as excessive and far-reaching, raising serious concerns about its true intent. Initially, they sought a sweeping collection of evidence, but Baldoni managed to scale back the demand, forcing Lively's attorneys to refine their approach and request only specific messages directly tied to her allegations.
Hypocrite part, God knows what part we're at. Someone says to Brian Friedman for an example of how Blake can use the word sexy when she is talking about wardrobe and clothes. But if anyone else uses it, specifically Justin Baldoni, apparently that is SH. Blake did an interview for A Simple Favor some years ago, and here she is talking about her sexy wardrobe.
And I said, okay, I want her to wear menswear. And so initially the conversations were, okay, she wears menswear as a woman, like no shirt underneath and like how women do it. And we tried it, but I was like, I just think that it really just needs to be menswear. I know that everybody, you know, the studio and whatnot, they want women to be so like, it's not going to be sexy if she's buttoned all the way up to her neck and bow tied. And we were like, just trust us, it's going to be super hot. It's going to be so sexy. And
here's a little reminder of what Baldoni said to make her feel so uncomfortable that she had to file an SH lawsuit. Mr. Baldoni commented how much he liked her outfit, which flustered Miss Lively. Consistent with past practice, he said, I think you look sexy, in a tone that made her feel ogled and exposed. With other female cast members present, she said, that's not what I'm going for. Bristled and replied, I'm sorry, hot. Deeply uncomfortable, Lively said, not that either. He told another female cast member that her leather pants looked sexy. Well, Blake, you love to use that word to also describe wardrobe when it comes to your films, so why is it such a problem when the director does so? She should not be so stunned when a director also uses that word for a character's wardrobe. Just her being a hypocrite. That word is clearly part of her vocabulary, like everyday vocabulary, but when Justin Baldoni says it, it's a problem. That's SH. That's actually bullshit.
However, Lively and her team didn't stop there. They made a bold and highly controversial move, demanding access not just to Baldoni's text messages related to the case, but also to his personal communications, internet searches, browser history, and call logs spanning the past 2.5 years. This invasive request signaled their determination to uncover what they believed to be undeniable proof of a coordinated effort to destroy Lively's reputation.
Trying to release every single text message between the two of them. We want the truth to be out there. We want the documents to be out there. We want people to make their determination based on receipts.
Justin Baldoni firing back after Blake Lively filed a lawsuit against the actor, accusing him of unprofessional and sexually inappropriate behavior on the set of It Ends With Us. She also accused him of coordinating a smear campaign.
Was there a coordinated smear campaign to bring down Blake Lively?
100% no.
Baldoni is now suing the New York Times after the paper published a story about Lively's allegations.
Do you plan to sue Blake Lively?
Absolutely.
You will?
Yes.
Baldoni claimed the text messages in Lively's lawsuit were taken out of context or excluded. The New York Times said in a statement that stand by their reporting and plan to vigorously defend against the lawsuit. Lively said previously that she hoped her suit helps pull back the curtain on these sinister retaliatory tactics to harm people who speak up about misconduct.
To strengthen their case, subpoenas were also issued to multiple individuals with direct connections to Baldoni's company, aiming to expose any hidden links in the alleged conspiracy. But in a shocking twist, sources close to the situation suggest that Lively's discomfort may have stemmed from a simple misunderstanding, as Baldoni's remarks, believed to be at the center of the controversy.
It turns out that Blake Lively was caught on tape talking about how she manipulates people around her in order to take control of the movies in which she works. Oops!
I knew that they just wanted me to show up and look cute and stand on a little pink sticker where I'm supposed to go and say what I'm supposed to say. But I also knew that that wasn't fulfilling for me, that I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, in creating the character. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor. Yet when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. Wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled.
Oh my God. And then exactly that to Justin Baldoni, apparently. If you want to write your own script, you should go write your own script. If you want to sign on to a movie with the understanding that you're going to make script changes, then great. But if the idea is that you sign as an actor and then you turn around and try to take control of the script, this makes you a jerk.
Were allegedly nothing more than responses to routine questions from a trainer. With the courtroom drama intensifying, the battle for truth continues, leaving Hollywood and the public eagerly awaiting the next bombshell revelation. This case sheds light on the fragile and deeply complex dynamics of private interactions within professional environments, where boundaries can easily blur and perceptions can drastically differ.
In this film, she decided that she wanted to be a producer. She started to make edits. She wanted to be part of the editing team. There were people hired, like human beings, actually hired to do the editing job, who had done work as editors. She wanted to be part of that team. The next thing you know, she took over the editing. She started making threats that she wouldn't promote the movie, that she wanted to be in control of marketing of the movie, that she would do nothing in terms of promotion unless she was the actual editor.
Blake Lively escalated the controversy further by filing a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, accusing him of causing her distress by making her outfit appear intentionally provocative. However, in a surprising twist, reports have surfaced suggesting that Lively herself has used similar language when commenting on others' attire, raising serious questions about double standards and workplace professionalism.
Tell me you were paid off by Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds without telling me you were paid off by them. Ari Emanuel, who's an executive at WME, Justin Baldoni's former talent agency, and Blake and Ryan's current talent agency. Also the same agency that a few months ago came out and said Ryan Reynolds did not pressure them to drop Justin Baldoni, FYI. Ari Emanuel proclaims that he was the one to fire Justin Baldoni. And Ari just seems real professional about this. Goes on to say it is an effed up bad situation what Baldoni, whatever his name is doing. Ari praises Blake and Ryan for being really incredible people who never had any bad mojo out there or treated people badly. They are charitable. They're giving tons of money away.
This glaring inconsistency has sparked heated debates over fairness, ethics, and the power dynamics at play in Hollywood. Meanwhile, Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, has fiercely defended his client, categorically denying any attempts to tarnish Lively's reputation.
He says he's known them for over a decade, and when push came to shove, Baldoni was expendable. Explain it. I am a ride or die, and they are good people. Oh, hey, Ari, I thought Ryan had nothing to do with firing Justin Baldoni. That's interesting, because it seems like a lot to do with it. Also funny that you mentioned how charitable they are. I wonder how charitable they are to you. So WME literally fired someone over someone else's opinion of them. And the fact that he's coming out and saying this now, after we have seen the evidence from Baldoni's side, the evidence that has debunked several of Blake Lively's claims, FYI. I've already made a video on the WME roster and how there are several people on that roster that should have been fired if it's over such claims. Mr. Drake A. Minor has been their client for over a decade. Ben Affleck, J Balvin, that's just naming a few. So just add W to the list of people that Blake and Ryan have paid.
He argues that Lively's legal team has deliberately twisted Baldoni's words, taking them out of context and manipulating the media to construct a misleading narrative. According to Friedman, this so-called smear campaign is nothing more than a strategic effort by Lively's camp to paint Baldoni as the villain in a case that has become one of Hollywood's most controversial legal battles. As tensions reach a boiling point, the fight for justice and public perception continues to intensify.